Hi, good to see you again. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can learn to love making a sale and thus increase your income exponentially. So where do we start? First, let's take a look at money. So what is money? It's a medium of exchange. It's also an abstraction on work. What does that mean? Well, if you look at my video on the hierarchy of ideas, you will see that we chunk up to high levels of abstraction and we chunk down to details. Those people who manage the high levels of abstraction sit around in boardrooms and decide what specific activities the workers will do. Does that make sense? Someone has an idea to make a mobile phone. The person who conceptualizes the phone talks to a group of people about how to manufacture the phone and how to load it up with software and then how to connect wirelessly to a transmitting station. Once they have designed the concept, they look for people in industry who can manufacture the components. The industry CEOs then talk to their managers, who then instruct the workers in how to construct the components. Guess who gets paid the most? That's right, the people who work at the top get paid more than the people at the bottom of the hierarchy who do the actual physical process of building the phone. If you look at Steve Jobs and Bill Gates, both these creative entrepreneurs are or were billionaires surrounded by a team of millionaires. Now, not suggesting that you should work at the top of the hierarchy. Remember, the secret to success is to work to your personality type. This is your genius. Then get involved in a project or business that you are passionate about and interests you. Then make sure that the project or business fulfills your values. And work in an environment in which you flourish. This means everything you do will feel so much more natural and rewarding. So you have to define your product or service, right? So to start with, you need a product or a service to sell. The product or service needs to be clearly defined. It needs to offer a solution to a problem. In other words, we sell things to help people. However, the only way to get repeat sales is by selling an item that fulfills a significant value for the customer. Now, keep in mind your ethics. Is the product or service that you offer, is it good for the customer, for the society, for the world, for the planet, and for humanity? Does it help raise the vibration of the planet? For example, sugary soft drinks might help the customer fulfill their hydration needs. But what are the negative consequences on the health of the customer and society? So if your product or service is providing some significant benefit to the customer and the world, then you should get to feel good each time you make a sale. Make a lot of sales and you get to feel fantastic. So at the end of the day, if you make a bunch of sales that fulfill your value system and helps other people in some positive way, then on reflection, you should feel happy. Now, different personality types will approach sales and marketing in a different way, which means you need to design a sales and marketing system that suits your personality type and makes it easier for you to get out of the struggle phase and into flow. And I recommend that you should write out your own sales and marketing procedure and fine-tune it as you master each step. In brief, you need to get yourself, your product or your advert in front of your potential customer so that you can make a presentation. Whether you open a shop, a market stall, or build a website, or open an online store, the procedure is much the same. So I'm just going to run you quickly through the 8-step sales process. So step 1, you've got to get rapport and build authority and trust with your potential customers. Whether that be through a website, a webinar, social media, YouTube channel, or a physical shop or venue. So you have to meet people and introduce yourself. Now, rather than getting single sales, it helps to build an audience so that people come back to you. Step 2, ask questions. Don't start by talking at people. Ask questions. Remember the questions, statements, commands that I talked about in earlier videos? Get people to open up to you. You're listening for a problem that the person has that you may be able to solve with your product or service. If the person you're talking to doesn't have a problem that you can solve, well, then you move on to somebody else. Right, step 3. So as you ask questions, listen and identify needs, wants, and would likes. Just think about that. What are people more likely to want fulfilled? A need, a want, or a would like? Step 4, inoculate against objections. So let me give you an example. Some people would say that this mobile phone is too expensive. But what they don't realize is that you can drop it and the glass doesn't shatter. So what you do is you answer the potential objection about price before they even raise it. By the way, you interested in a mobile phone that doesn't break when you drop it? Give me a call. Yeah, I wish. Okay, step 5. Once you've identified a problem, then you offer a solution. You might say, if I could solve that problem for you, would you be interested? Step 6, answer the customer's questions. Now make sure that you ask if they have any other questions that need answering before finalizing the sale. And then step 7 is ask for the sale. For example, are you ready to book a session? Can you come for a session during the week, or would we need to do it on the weekend? Would Skype work for you? In some cases, you may need to ask if there is anyone else who needs to be involved in the sales process. And step 8, deal with objections. Think of an objection as a request for more information. So it helps to have a FAQ page, a frequently answered questions page, which answers every possible objection that you might get. And even if it's not an online business where you have an FAQ page, if you're doing face-to-face presentation, you still need to write out your all the possible objections that you might get and have reframes and answers for them so that you can actually give it verbally to the potential customer. Now, keep in mind that people will walk from shop to shop or browse websites, slowly gathering information and getting their questions answered. The salesperson or website that answers the last question that the potential customer has in mind invariably gets the sale. And as you learn to track the sales process, I think you'll come to enjoy helping people make good decisions. I just love making the sale. So, to love making a sale, it's basically like, you know your personality type. You're involved in a business which interests you and fulfills your values. You're in an environment in which you flourish. What more could you want, you know? And you want to help people, society, and the planet in some way. You want to raise the vibration of the planet. And you present your product or service to some people. You have a system for doing that. And whether your sales process is online or offline, you have a way to run the potential customer through the 8-step sales process. You've got a solution to their problem. You answer their questions, and most importantly, you ask for the sale. And as Richard Bandler said many years ago, if you don't ask the question, then you won't get the sale. So you have to say, do you want to buy this? Or do you want to go out with me? And if you don't ask, you're not going to get the result that you're after. So find as many ways that you can to ask for the sale. For example, like, do you want to book a session? Are you ready to book a session? When would be the best time for you? Would it be easy for you to come down on the weekend or during the week? Would you be looking at a couple of sessions? Or would you like to buy a coaching package and save some money? And if you were selling a car, you might ask, well, which colour do you like best? It presupposes a purchase. You know, what do you think your neighbours might say when they see your new car in the driveway? How do you think your friends might respond when you tell them that you bought this car? How much would you save on fuel? Do you want to buy it now? And as you talk to the potential customer, take written notes. Ask if there is anything else they need to know before making the purchase. In some cases, the prospect will then say, what do we do now? Make sure you have a response. If you have an online business selling products, then you need to be aware that the design of your web pages should answer all the potential questions that arise in the mind of the customer. And that's quite a challenge. In addition, some of the best websites have a message box where the potential customer can chat with someone on the sales team in real time. But if you have a message box, make sure there's somebody there to chat in real time. Otherwise, have a way to remove it when you're not there. And so what are you going to do now? Are you ready to take action and learn the process of making the sale and loving it? Then go for it. And I wish you all the best.